Hello and welcome to your volume lesson for today. On this slide you can see how we have several different 3D figures. Here we have our cube. It's got 6 sides, it's like a die, each side is a square. Okay, similar to a cube, this second figure has 2 rectangular bases, so we actually call this a rectangular prism. As you can see below, when the bases, or the parallel sides, your 2 parallel sides, are pentagons, we actually call this a pentagonal prism. Not to be confused with the pentagonal pyramid, which only has 1 base, and all of these edges meet at a vertex. Similar to a pyramid is a cone, but this time the base is a circle. If you would flip that over, it'd look like an ice cream cone. Who's hungry now? Here we have a sphere, like a 3D ball, 3D circle, and if both of our bases are circles, this we call a cylinder. So take a minute and make sure that all of those names are copied down in your notes. Super important when we're naming prisms and pyramids that we name it by the shape of its base. On our next slide here, we have our different volume formulas. So for each of those different 3D figures, we have a different formula. So for a prism, we're going to take the area of the base and multiply it by the height of your figure. For a cylinder, you're going to take pi times the radius squared times the height. For pyramids, we're going to take 1/3 times the area of the base times the height of the pyramid. For a cone, take 1/3 pi times the radius squared times the height of the cone. And for a sphere's volume, we'll take 4/3 times pi times the radius cubed. So take a minute, copy down all those formulas, maybe double check that you copied them down correctly before you continue on with the video. Here's an example. We want to find the volume of the cylinder at the right rounded to hundredths. So what we need to do is copy down our volume formula first. So for a cylinder, we said our volume formula is really pi times the radius squared times the height. If we look at this cylinder, our radius going from the center of the circle to a point on the circle is 5 centimeters. So we can plug that in for the radius, and our height is really going to be the distance between our 2 circle bases. So here's our radius, here's our height. Let's plug that into the formula. So if we think about 5 squared, that's like 5 times 5, which would give us 25 times 10. So I'm going to move this number out in front. 25 times 10 is 250 pi. If I was asking for an exact answer, that would be fine, but the directions said that we want to round to hundredths. So if we type this in our calculator, it'll be approximately 785.398. Okay, but if I give you 3 decimal places, we're really rounding to hundredths. So what I want to see you do is, this would be rounding to thousandths with 3 decimal places, sorry. So what we need to do is actually round this up to 40 hundredths. So I know that it ends in a 0, But if I'm asking for you to round to hundredths, I need you to fill that in with a 0. Right? And remember, when we talk about volume, this is units cubed. So we were measuring in centimeters, but we would fill this area on the inside with cubed centimeters. So here's our final answer. So here's your homework for tonight. I want you to write down any questions you have from watching this presentation. We will discuss these at the beginning of class tomorrow. And I also want you to bring in a 3D object class. This could be anything that's three-dimensional you can find around your house. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned something.